Hello, children. It's me. Do you like to look up into the endless expanse of space? Maybe you think it's just full of cold, dark emptiness. Zara was an inquisitive and active girl. Her parents always joked that she was born with her head in the clouds. Whenever Zara had a free moment, she would gaze up at the cloudy skies and dream of faraway worlds and civilizations. Of course, her parents worried about this and often tried to distract her from her unrealistic fantasies. Are you ready to go on an adventure among the stars?
Ho, ho, ho!
Zara was too shocked to respond. All she could do was stare at the robot in disbelief. He told her about the astronauts who had walked on the moon and the many missions that had explored its surface. Zara was left speechless by the sight of its magnificent rings, which stretched over 200,000 kilometers in length. Lumo took her to see other wonders of the universe, including the shining stars, colorful planets, and even a space whale. Each new discovery filled Zara with a sense of awe and wonder, making her realize how small she was in comparison to the immensity of the cosmos.
Ho, ho, ho!
Lumo shared fascinating facts about each celestial body, explaining their formation and unique characteristics. However, as she sat up in bed, Zara noticed something. Perhaps one day you'll find yourself exploring the universe just like Zara. Until then, keep looking up and dreaming big. Lumo bids you farewell. In her hand was a small, shiny pendant that she had brought back from her adventure. It was a tangible reminder of the journey she had taken and the experiences she had lived through. With a newfound determination, Zara got out of bed and went to her window.
Ho, ho, ho!
She looked up at the night sky, now filled with twinkling stars, and whispered, "Thank you, Lumo, for showing me the universe." Zara knew that although her adventure through space had been just a dream, the wonder and excitement she had experienced would stay with her forever. She had learned that even the most fantastical dreams could come true if she dared to believe in them. And with that realization, Zara's spirit of adventure was reignited.
Ho, ho, ho!
She knew that while her journey through space might have been a dream, the possibilities for exploration and discovery were endless, both in her dreams and in reality. Zara listened intently, eager to learn more about the universe and its wonders. Lumo explained that the rings were made of ice and rock and that each one was unique in its complexity. She missed her bed, her toys, and most of all, her parents. Realizing that it was time to go, Zara felt a pang of sadness knowing that her incredible adventure was coming to an end.
Ho, ho, ho!
She thanked Lumo for showing her the wonders of the universe and for giving her an experience she would never forget. With a heavy heart, Zara hugged Lumo goodbye and stepped out of the spaceship. As the door closed behind her, she turned to wave at the robot, but he was already gone. The only evidence that her adventure had ever happened was the small, shiny object in her hand. It was a pendant shaped like a star that seemed to glow faintly in the darkness. Zara clutched the pendant tightly, its coolness a grounding sensation against her warm skin.
Ho, ho, ho!
They danced around the rings of Saturn, feeling the icy particles sparkle and shimmer around them. She ran to her bedroom window and looked up at the sky. And sure enough, the spaceship was descending slowly towards her house. Standing at the window, Zara watched as the spaceship landed softly in her backyard. A moment later, the door opened and out stepped Lumo, his metallic body gleaming in the moonlight. "Lumo, you're back," Zara exclaimed, her eyes wide with surprise. "I thought you were going to take me away from my family and friends forever."
Ho, ho, ho!
"Oh, no," Lumo replied with a gentle smile. "Ivy brought you back home because it is time for you to wake up from your dream." Zara frowned in confusion. "What dream?" she asked, feeling disoriented. Lumo extended a metallic finger and gently tapped her forehead. Suddenly, Zara's vision cleared, and she found herself lying in her bed. The familiar surroundings of her bedroom slowly came into focus, and she realized that the entire adventure she had just experienced had been nothing but a vivid dream.
Ho, ho, ho!
Zara laughed with joy as the wind from the rings ruffled her hair and clothes. She twirled and skipped, feeling lighter than air. The experience was truly magical and unforgettable. Zara imagined what it would be like to walk on the moon and leave her own footprints in its dusty surface. They then visited Mars, the red planet. Lumo pointed out the Olympus Mons, the tallest mountain in the solar system, and the Vales Marineris, a canyon system that dwarfed the Grand Canyon on Earth.
Ho, ho, ho!
Zara marveled at the rusty-colored landscape and wondered if there was any life on this distant planet. But seeing her confused face, the robot explained, "Don't be afraid. My name is Lumo, and I'm here to take you on a journey through space." Still, Zara couldn't help but wonder why she had been chosen for this extraordinary adventure. But before she could ask any questions, Lumo gestured towards the spaceship and said, "Come on, we don't have much time." Hesitantly, Zara nodded her head and slowly approached the spaceship.
Ho, ho, ho!
As she climbed aboard, she couldn't help but feel a mixture of excitement and fear. What would she find among the stars? Would she ever return home? Despite these thoughts, Zara couldn't deny the sense of adventure that was coursing through her veins. With a deep breath, she decided to embrace the unknown and see where this journey would take her. But no matter what they did, Zara still preferred to spend most of her time looking up into the night sky. Stars twinkled all around them, some shining bright and others faint and distant.
Ho, ho, ho!
Looking down, she could see the Earth getting smaller and smaller until it was nothing but a tiny blue marble in the vastness of space. Overwhelmed with a sense of wonder, Zara turned back to Lumo and asked, "Where are we going?" Lumo smiled and replied, "We're on our way to visit the most beautiful places in the universe. You'll see things you have never dreamed of." Excited by his words, Zara couldn't wait to see what wonders awaited them. "Or maybe you see bright stars and planets and shooting meteors."
Ho, ho, ho!
As she stood there mesmerized by the beauty of the cosmos, suddenly something unexpected happened right before her eyes. Right above her head, streaks of light appeared in the sky, crisscrossing one another like beams of a gigantic flashlight. Zara was so stunned by this strange spectacle that she could take her eyes off the sky for a whole hour. All she could do was gasp in amazement as the light show continued to captivate her attention.
Ho, ho, ho!
Then just as quickly as it started, the light show ended and Zara was left standing alone in the backyard wondering what on earth she had just witnessed. You know, whatever you see when you look up into the night sky all depends on what you believe in. She spent every waking moment of her life watching the sky, waiting for the moment when the beams of light would appear again. Finally, one night, Zara's patience paid off. The streaks of light returned, and this time they descended directly towards her. Before she knew it, a small spaceship had landed right in her backyard.
Ho, ho, ho!
And to Zara's utter disbelief, the door of the spaceship slowly opened, and a friendly robot emerged. Once upon a time, there was a young girl who believed more than anything that there were fantastic lands hidden among the stars. One evening, as the sun began its slow descent below the horizon, Zara went out into the backyard to watch the sky turn into a canvas of brilliant colors. All the days that followed, Zara couldn't shake off the feeling that something extraordinary was about to happen. "Greetings, little girl," the robot said with a warm smile. "I have come for you."
Ho, ho, ho!
As the ship took off, Zara gasped in amazement as the familiar sights of her hometown were replaced by the endless expanse of the cosmos. Their first stop was the moon. Zara was fascinated to see the lunar surface up close and learn about its history from Lumo. After leaving Mars behind, they continued their journey to Saturn, the ring planet. But Zara's journey didn't end there. As the hours passed, Zara began to feel a sense of longing for her home and family.
Ho, ho, ho!
When Zara got back home, she noticed that her backyard was filled with streaks of light just like the ones she had seen before. Disappointment washed over her as she remembered the wonders she had seen and the friends she had made during her journey through space. So children, never stop believing in the impossible. Who knows what adventures await you among the stars?
Ho, ho, ho!